Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast episode. I don't know. Welcome. Coming off a huge week. We're coming off Forbidden Door. We're coming off of a little live event, a little Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah.
We got the SCW Predictions Championship to busy day for the SCW Predictions Championship.
Yeah. Well, technically, this should be in my hands right now.
You're right. I apologize.
Mine.
We are going over Forbidden Door predictions.
Yep.
In terms of who's coming out as champion.
Absolutely.
And then we're turning right around, and this Saturday it's being defended at Money in the Bank.
That's right.
We've got our predictions coming up for that, as well as we're going to go over some not for the belt, but we're going to look at NXT Heatwave.
First time ever in history. That's just going to be a non-title predictions.
Yes, that too. And then time permitting, we're going over some Forbidden Door and all of that bleed off of Forbidden Door talk, as well as talking more in depth about Dante and I going to Monday Night Raw.
Yes, sir.
Will be over on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. With that said, really quick, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. This is today's free episode. If you want today's episode ad-free as well as a bonus episode, go over there, sign up, $5.99 a month, and you get all the backlog of content.
Come on.
With that said, Dante, we went to Monday Night Raw.
Yes, we did. Separately.
On Monday Night Raw. We did go separately.
Didn't go together.
Yeah. So for those that were confused, I think we probably both posted pictures from different angles.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple people, which we were talking about this off camera. It's always great regardless when someone comes up and, I know you from TikTok. Mm-hmm. And especially if they're Stache Club and da-da. And I got a couple, but us being together at a WrestleMania or when we went together at Blood and Guts,
it's a whole different
thing. Because you see the two of us together and it's an easy
to put it together.
But so first of all, a couple things. One, shout out to the people that said hi. Shout out to, I don't want to put anyone's name on blast, but shout out to the ticket taker. I don't know if that's that's the appropriate job title, but shout out him. We see him every single time we're there. And the few people, I think I took a picture with one or two people, said hi to some people. But anyway, point being, what I'm trying to say is, I always get the, hey, what's up, man? Da-da, and look over my shoulder.
Where's Dante?
Dante here?
Same and vice versa. Yeah. I do not that.
So point being, I was telling me, I said, he's here somewhere. We just
didn't come together. Yeah. We took separate cars. We kind of talked about it before. It's I went with my cousins, and my girlfriend, and you got a last minute ticket.
Yeah, I bought my ticket at 7:30.
Which is you know what, and that's honestly sometimes the best way to do it. It is nice. I love people approaching us saying they're huge fans. I had a few people as well do that, but it also is kind of nice to go to a wrestling event and just chilling and just not being I want to say bombarded, making it sound like a bad
annoyed,
thing. It's
bothered.
Not those words, but it's it was a nice chill night and stuff like that, and just it was my cousins and my girlfriend's first time going to an event, so just being able to enjoy that with them was so cool. Because usually at wrestling events, there's a ton of people that come up to us and stuff. It is great seeing people, but it was different, but cool, just being there and just being there as a fan myself. Oh, almost knocked it over. Being a fan myself, and just enjoying that time with my family.
Yeah. I was interested to hear about because you went with mainly very casual fans or non-fans at all.
So I went with 3 people that have never gone to a WWE live event
in
their lives.
That's a ball.
So I went with my girlfriend, who I try so hard to catch her up to date with what's going on. And last week I was watching one of the Uncle Howdy videos or whatever, and she just comes out of the shower. She goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Well, it's Uncle Howdy guy, Bray Wyatt." She goes, "It's okay."
You don't have to.
She saw the creepy VHS stuff, and she was like, "I'm all set.
Not for me.
I'm all okay." And then my other cousin, he's been he's always liked wrestling from an outsider, but never was watching it weekly and stuff. He knows the history of it and whatever. But he's never gone to a live event. He's recently, probably in this last year, has started watching it weekly. The Raws, the SmackDowns, the pay-per-views, whatever. And his girlfriend, kind of the same with my girlfriend, just not really, doesn't really know much about it.
Sure.
So it was really funny, just seeing their different reactions and just, because like it's different watching it on TV versus being there.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And like the atmosphere is like right away, like the holy shit chants, the lights going out, like all the Uncle Howdy creepy stuff. Taylor's like, what's happening? Why are the lights out? Who are those people?
Also, when you're there live, that's the most important thing. So like it could just be a regular who gives a shit like Raw mid TV match, but when you're there, every single one of those matches are like a pay-per-view level match
high intensity
that has the most stakes.
100%.
You know what I mean? And we kind of did get lucky. We went to a fantastic Raw. I think all those matches
before Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think all those matches hit. But yeah, that's fun to hear. I was telling you, like, I want to bring my friends to like a big, because WWE does make like a circus and a spectacle of it, you know, with all the fireworks and the music and the, you know,
there's certain like
the energy.
Not to like rank Boston where like they go and stuff, but Boston is one of the best shows that they do.
Yeah.
During the year, because there's certain fan bases like the Chicagos, the Bostons, the New Yorks, like Madison Square Garden. Like there's certain places that you know that crowd is going to be next level.
I mean, like a lot of like, for whatever reason, maybe it's just me paying more attention, but like stuff always happens in Boston.
Sure.
Like
it's a big show.
Whenever there's a Boston show, there's always like a cool return or an important match. 100%. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think there's certain places that they want to make a big deal out of that show. And I think Boston is, Boston's, it's a great city. City of champs. I think they just make it
the leftover confetti falling on Seth was fucking cool. That shit was awesome.
Amazing. And I guess that, so my cousin told me this because he has season tickets for the Celtics and stuff. And he's just like, he knows all about the Garden, whatever. It's like when the confetti drops, he gets stuck on certain like things on the roof, on the, you know, whatever. And when the bass is so loud, like you could go to a Celtics game in January and you'll still see confetti falling. So like when Seth came out, it was so loud.
Because his shit is like the fucking boom.
100%. Yeah. It just kept falling. And that was like a really cool sight to see.
Yeah, he used that in his promo. He was like, confetti's falling in Boston. It's a sign.
Yeah, 100%. But no, it was a lot of fun. Like, me and you usually go to those things together. But, like, getting to experience it with three people that have never actually been there, like, super, super fun.
And also, and we are hyping it up, but not that it's not expected. It's at all not expected. And when it happens, the rare time it happens, it's always great. We did both buy our own or you got gifted for your birthday, but like same.
Yeah.
We did buy our own tickets.
Yep, we did.
So
we did. Came out of our pockets.
So just, you know, just let that be known that either way, I'm still gonna fucking be. So I'll be honest.
We invest.
Point being, I wasn't gonna go. One, because I did drop a little bit of money. I was like, that's, you know,
buying a ticket 30 minutes for the show. Will do that.
Yeah. But I wouldn't have gone if it wasn't Rey versus Dom. But
fair
enough. It was Rey Mysterio versus Dom, and I was like, I've seen Rey perform only once, and that bucket list thing got accomplished last year. When I think you were busy, but we got tickets to SmackDown.
Oh, well, yeah, he was at WrestleMania too. He was in the tag team.
Oh my God, yeah, he was. He was.
Maybe like a one-on-one type of thing. Yeah,
I first saw him at the SmackDown.
Yep.
But it wasn't a televised match. It was a dark match they did after the show, which was still, his music still hit. I still saw him perform. It was great.
Right.
WrestleMania. You're right. We did see him. I kind of forgot about that, but it was the 3-on-3, so there was a lot more, which was still
a little different.
Still unbelievable to see him on that stage. But this was cool to see him like one-on-one televised match, Raw. Yeah. And also it's like he's my all-time favorite, so I kind of thought of it of like a I thought of two things. One, I kept on telling myself, money comes and money goes. So,
hey, that money that you spent, gone now. Why are we even talking about it?
You know?
Why are we even talking about it?
And then two, it's like, I have no idea how long Rey is going to be wrestling for.
Yeah,
so it's like this.
Take advantage of these opportunities.
This could be one of the last times, you know, knock on wood here, but one of the last times we see him performing in WWE ring before he retires for good. So I was like, I gotta see Ray.
Hey,
and it's
man,
Ray versus Dom. I gotta see that.
I
live.
would have done the same.
You know what I
thing.
mean?
I do want to add one. I told you this before. One more thing. So when the show started, Jey Uso came out.
Oh yeah.
So when we walked in,
that was sick.
We walked in at like 7:50, so like 10 minutes before the show started. And where we walked in, there's just a huge crowd of people, and I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, like everyone's just kind of coming in right now, whatever. But then I'm like, no one's moving. And then I saw people have their phones out, like holding it up. I'm like, I wonder if they're doing like a special entrance or something. And then obviously the three people I was with were like, what the fuck is going
why is
on?
everyone
I'm like,
here?
I think, and I kind of looked, and there was like production people around, like trying to move people out of the way, make a pathway. I'm like, oh, there's definitely someone coming out. And then we could see like behind the door, Jey Uso was like pacing back and forth.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
we were like I was like, oh, like Jey Uso's gonna come through the crowd. And the face, like seeing my girlfriend's face and even my cousin, his girlfriend's face throughout all of this was priceless, because they were just like, everyone was so crazy. It was also very hot in the hallway, so I'm like sweating and stuff, and we were just like, they were like, does this happen all the time? And I go, I've been to like more than a few like wrestling events, and like I've never experienced this before. And they were like, well, if you've never experienced this before, like this is just crazy. And I'm like, this doesn't happen all the time.
Seeing that, because I was in the rafters like diagonally from that. And I think Jey Uso falls in this conversation a lot of like, is Jey Uso the guy? Is Jey Uso over? Is Jey Uso a star?
Hey, we got the answer to that question.
He being there live for his entrance is a totally different beast, and like immediately you realize, oh, he's the top star in the company.
I understand why his t-shirt's like a top 3 seller since he's been on his own, whatever. I can see the hype. I mean,
the whole crowd with the lights and the hands,
the control that he has over the crowd, doing the yeet chants, the hands up and down, the lights and everything, bro. He has that crowd in the palm of his hands.
Love him.
It's like it's. We kind of brought up, it's like seeing a show on TV is so much different than being in a live audience, because you can hear the crowd, you can see it like on TV. But when you're actually there and experiencing it, it is so different, and it's so fucking cool to see how popular these guys actually are in real, like, live.
Yeah. No, money well spent. I had a ball. $130 well spent.
I bought a t-shirt. The t-shirts aren't the cheapest thing in the world, but I never buy shirts, so I was like, I might as well get something.
I will say the parking,
chicken fingers and fries aren't cheap either.
Oh, you bought
and 2 beers.
See, I spent the money I did.
I spent more than you.
I was gonna say that's just about probably what everything costs for me. I was also coming off my birthday weekend, so I was still a little bit like
riding the high, baby.
Riding the high, but also no drinks for me tonight. I was kind of coming off. I was still feeling a little bit.
Hey, I've been there, so that's more than fair.
And also, I was like, I just spent that money, and I was like, I'm not gonna spend another $130 on 2 beers.
Think about it. That's your birthday gift to yourself.
That's kind of what I was justified. Oh, believe me, I've justified that payment of more than a few ways.
I've gone through a million different scenarios of how the money was well spent.
How much are the chicken fingers? Oh,
well, I got chicken fingers and fries.
Okay.
4 chicken fingers.
4 chicken fingers. How many fries?
Great fries.
Really?
Great fries.
Okay, like great for TD Garden, or just like great for
I honestly like.
If you got fries at those fries at a restaurant, you'd be like,
I would be happy with them. Yeah.
I'm gonna say for chicken fingers and fries at TD Garden, that ran you $18.
I think it was like 28.
Oh wow!
I got chicken fingers and fries and 2 beers. I think in total
in the same swoop.
In the same swoop, I think it was like a little over 60. I have a one-handed girlfriend. She helps out a lot. People aren't going to understand that reference, but hand injury, whatever. I had chicken fingers, fries, and beer in one hand, and she took the other beer. So
that's nice. It was a very hold this. That's nice.
Take this. Well, no, I mean it was. I drove that night, so it was like one of those. Like, one, I didn't want to spend money on beer, and 2, I was like, I'm not going to drink much anyways. So I think I stuck to 2 beers, which that's all my wallet could take anyways.
Yeah. That's so I'll tell you this: the parking. because I did end up driving.
Did you drive too?
Did end up driving, which it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. It's also like it's not like a Celtics game, so it wasn't like as bad.
Right.
And the way it's set up, like the parking garage is kind of like they have the in and out like a little bit separate in the main street, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, parking was like $60. That's more than I paid for the ticket. Or I guess before fees. After fees, it was about like, almost.
And
even,
it's tough because it's like even if you Ubered in, it's like it's going to cost more to Uber.
I figured I wasn't going to drink anyway. And Uber there was like already going to be like $28. And Uber back would have been more. So I would have been spending just about 60, if not maybe more during rush hour. So I figured like, I also like, I don't know. I just like driving myself too.
And too, if you didn't drive, that would have given you in the back, you had to be like, oh, I'm not driving. I can get a drink or two or something like that. Then you spend more money on beers.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's a trickle effect. You know what I mean? But yeah, Monday Night Raw, sick.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little. We're gonna go over the beats. We're gonna go over Money in the Bank. We're over Heatwave. I want to talk about Swerve and Ospreay, and then but Patreon might be more for the live show experience. So yeah, again, head over to there. But without further ado. We're not going to go over the Forbidden Door predictions, but we do have SCW Predictions Championship results, and which was news to me. I wasn't really keeping track live of who was what. Apparently, we got another Sweep City predictions on our hands. Wow. Are you kidding me?
The summer of Dante was cut short. I think it is very impressive.
I can't believe it.
You did it for WrestleMania too. These events that have like more than 10 matches, I don't know what it is, but that's the best of you comes out there.
Yeah, Money in the Bank, I'm not getting one right 5 matches.
I took it from you to start the podcast. I'm awarding it to you now. So
let's
congratulations. I mean,
go.
I can't get mad at a sweep.
And hey, like I said, I'm putting it right back on the line for Money in the Bank. Let's go. I got a little contingency that I should have gotten before the show, but if you could do me a favor and stall for 2 minutes, I will grab something.
Okay.
But tell people your hype level or your confidence level for your picks or Money in the Bank. Or say whatever you want.
I can do that. You know what? All right, let's talk about something not wrestling. No, I'm kidding. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. Yeah, I mean, I think the Monday Night Raw 2, I think, was a great go-home show. I know there's still SmackDown, stuff like that, but it was a good go-home show kind of leading you into Money in the Bank. Jey Uso, Chad Gable had their thing. They announced their match for next week. Drew McIntyre obviously qualifying in an unbelievable match. I think any 3 of those guys could have won. But Money in the Bank is like, I think we've kind of talked about this before, where I miss it being on like a WrestleMania or something like that. Now that it's 2 nights, you can easily do men one night, women the other. It's like one of the biggest matches of the year. Why not have it on the biggest show? But considering how big it is and stuff and how great the match is, you can have its own pay-per-view. Money in the Bank match is arguably my favorite match ever. It's up there for sure. So I'm a sucker for a Money in the Bank pay-per-view, these matches, and I always look forward to this event. So my excitement levels are definitely through the roof here. And it's unpredictable this year. There's so many different people that could win, so makes it even better. Yeah, so what did you...
So. First of all, Money in the Bank 2024. Obviously, SCW Predictions Championship will be on the line.
Yes, it will
and
be.
As we have done in the past, I can't remember if we've done it last year or if it was a year before thing, or how many Money in the Bank predictions we've done.
I think
not sure. Maybe just one.
Just done one.
Regardless, in spirit of Money in the Bank, right? They got the briefcase and you got the opportunity.
That's what they're fighting for.
Our own SCW Predictions Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh yeah, baby.
Sent to us. This is OG sent to us. Friend of the pod, Adrian. They also sent us. I believe Adrian sent us the that rave poster up there. But point being, hold on, let me look something up. Point being, we're gonna have a little fun. There's gonna be the predictions are gonna bleed over into the quizzes.
Okay.
What we're gonna do? Okay. What we're gonna do is the winner of the predictions will not only get the SCW Predictions Championship, they'll also win the Money in the Bank briefcase. And what that means, this can be cashed in any time during any quiz at any moment at
up to a year
at any moment, as long as the camera's rolling and the audio's going, it can be cashed in for an extra 5 points out of nowhere.
Okay. Is that after we reveal the answer, or is that before we reveal the answer?
As long as the camera's recording. Anytime.
Okay. All right.
Anytime.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
It's not contingent on if you get something right or not. It's just it's a free 5 points.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say right now, I'll put it out there. If I win that briefcase, I'm not spending it, and I'm holding on to it for a year.
That's crazy.
No, it's like at least I have. Even if I lose a quiz, I I still got.
You still got this.
Still dangling.
Still got it.
I got something to hold on to.
Well, there's the problem with that. As long as we remember we have it, because it's not.
I'm gonna have it with me every quiz. I'm gonna have it right by my feet every single quiz.
So we're gonna have this. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah. And it'll kind of. I like the idea of it bleeding into.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. It's also a nice advertisement during the quizzes for the for the podcast. Okay. We have. Excuse me. Our Money in the Bank predictions. We're going to do the 5 confidence points. It's 5 matches. Starting off here, men's Money in the Bank match. Jey Uso versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade versus Chad Gable versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre.
So, these matches are tough with confidence points because you have a 1 in 6 chance of picking the right winner.
Very tough.
And with these matches especially, I mean, you just got a lot of options of, people that, like we talked about the point of the Money in the Bank briefcase is to elevate someone like a mid-carder or something and put them on the main event scene. And we seem to have a lot of that in both matches. But for the men's, I look at this as, to me, and we have it pulled up on the big screen so I see who you picked here.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. You did mention that earlier. I didn't think of that.
That's fine. I really think there's only 3 realistic possibilities here, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So Chad Gable is in this match. I think Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six are going to get involved somehow, so I think that takes him out.
Yeah.
LA Knight's in this match. I think Logan Paul is going to get involved. Going to cost him somehow. I think they're going to have a U.S. title match at SummerSlam.
It's also not last year, so it's not an LA Knight Money in the Bank win time.
And I think that there is still plenty of time for that. I think whether he wins the mid card of the U.S. title or not, I think getting him started with that first is a great way to get him into the main event scene, whatever. Drew McIntyre, I think, has a good chance to win, but I really do think Punk or even AJ Lee is going to get involved because he's been mentioning AJ Lee a lot, and WWE posted a video on YouTube of people screwing other people in ladder matches, Money in the Bank matches, and the thumbnail for that picture was AJ Lee pushing off John Cena. So WWE is very good at those little tiny teasers, whatever. So I'm thinking Drew's gonna lose because of interference there.
So I want to stop here then, because obviously you see the screen. I'm going as of now. I'm going with Drew McIntyre,
and that's a fair pick.
I wasn't. Well, dumb thing to say. I wasn't until he got added to the match, but I was pretty set on a Jey or Carmelo until Drew won his match and added so much of his story into it, where he's the only one of these.
He's the only former world champion in here.
Well, he's the only former world champion, but in terms of storyline, he has the most, other than the Chad and Wyatt Six stuff, but that's kind of a thing. Right. It's more of a Wyatt Six thing than it is a Chad Gable thing. Drew has so much story in this match, and I think Drew winning the Money in the Bank briefcase adds a whole other thing to a him and Punk thing.
Sure.
And he was even he said on Raw that we went to live, he said, when I win that briefcase, I'm cashing it in that night and walking out as champion.
And that's why I believe that there still could be a chance that Drew wins, even though I said CM Punk, AJ Lee can interfere, because now I can see Drew winning, and then what if he goes to cash in and then he gets screwed?
Sure.
That.
Which
could, I think...
God, I don't know if I'd love that.
I don't think I'd love that. I think that would be a waste of a briefcase, but they could get screwed winning the briefcase or get screwed in the match. I think screwing him again in a world title match is so much worse and whatever, but I'm picking Jey Uso.
I could absolutely see in a Ray versus Eddie when Baby Dom shakes the ladder for Eddie, AJ Lee comes and shakes the ladder for Drew. So that's why I put CM Punk interfere. I'm just banking on one of these days Drew's gonna be smart enough and not get screwed over by Punk.
Right.
Am I super confident it's not gonna. Am I super confident that's gonna happen on Saturday? No, it's my one confidence point.
Right.
But I think there's absolutely some Punk interference, whether it's AJ Lee or not. I'm just kind of taking the gamble that Saturday's gonna be the time that Punk tries to screw him over. He doesn't, and we get that final shot of Drew holding the briefcase, like looking down Punk on the ground.
And I think
that's my thought process.
Like Drew getting screwed, like when he got screwed by Punk at Clash, I was like, that was so creative because he comes in as the ref and stuff.
That was good.
How's Drew gonna fucking know he's gonna come in as the ref? In this case, like you're right, like how many times can he be outsmarted? But this time it's AJ Lee. He's getting outsmarted, but he's getting outsmarted in ways that he doesn't expect. He doesn't expect Punk to be the referee. He doesn't expect AJ Lee to show up.
That AJ Lee pop, if it happens,
I think it would be the biggest pop of the year. I really do.
I've seen like a little bit. I haven't really put too much thought into that. I haven't seen too much about it. But now we're talking about it. I haven't considered it much. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And it's if and when it happens, that pop's gonna be fucking bonkers.
I couldn't agree more. So with all that being said, I am picking Jey Uso to win this. I feel like
he's on the poster.
He's on the poster. I feel like I genuinely believe it's going to be him or Drew. Carmelo winning would be insane.
I thought it was going to be Carmelo for a while.
I think that would be fucking sick. And I'd be hyped if Carmelo won. But I think I know like Jey Uso might get back involved with the Bloodline, blah, blah, all that stuff down the line. But I still think he can still have the briefcase. Like, that's fine.
I mean, I think Jey Uso is in line for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And I believe that, too. Like, I think he'd be the perfect guy. Like, let's just say Gunther wins at SummerSlam, whatever. I'm not saying he cashed in at SummerSlam. But I think Gunther losing the belt to a Money in the Bank guy, and that Money in the Bank guy being main event Jey Uso, I think that's the perfect opportunity for Jey to be introduced into a world championship picture is with the Money in the Bank.
And then then at that point,
and he's earned it too. I do believe he's earned it.
And then at that point, maybe the Bloodline story has come around. You want to get Jey Uso back involved. Now you're getting Jey Uso back involved in the Bloodline story, where he has the World Heavyweight Championship.
Sure, and it's like Roman's like trying to get the WWE Championship back, and Jay's like, you don't got to worry about me. Like, I got my own business to take care of. I want the World Heavyweight belt, whatever. So yeah, I have Jey Uso, and that's 3.
That's your 3? No way.
I put 3 for Jey Uso. Even though we just talked about how the points like are so hard because it's 1 in 6 chance.
Wow.
I do feel confident that Jay is going to win, so I'm giving him 3. That could screw me. Yeah. That could screw me out of my own Money in the Bank. But
if I had to choose in terms of like, because we were talking about this on, I think we were doing the hot takes video. We were talking about how great and elevating Damian's cash-in has been.
Right.
If I had to choose someone to win Money in the Bank for the purest form of like they're a mid-carder and I want them to use Money in the Bank to shoot up, it's Carmelo.
Yeah.
You know?
And how I look at it too is like with guys like Carmelo is he's so young.
Dude, yeah.
I think it's like
this is rookie
year. You introduce him to this match. He could be the last guy. Him and Jay could be the last 2 up there, and Carmelo's like inches away but doesn't get it done. I think that just adds to his story, and like he can be back next year or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
He hasn't won a main roster title, nothing like that. Granted, Jay hasn't won a singles championship, but I think Carmelo is just he's too young. Not too young, but I think it's just a little too early. Eventually, he's gonna have an amazing career, but you don't have to throw it on him right away. It would be sick if they did, but I just don't expect it.
God, I wish we talked about Andrade more. It sucks that we haven't even mentioned.
I like he's in the match. I like that he's in the match.
I love that he's in the match.
I like that he's in the match.
Damn, he's not going to win.
It could be a curveball.
I'd lose my mind if I'd love it.
That would be such a shocking win.
I'd be hyped.
That would be such a shocking win. I would not be upset about it.
I'd be stoked.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes though.
We'll move on. Women's Money in the Bank match: Io Sky versus Chelsea Green versus Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Zoe Stark.
This is a tough one too, man.
This is my 2-pointer.
Yep,
it's my 2-pointer. Both the Money in the Bank matches are my lowest.
This is my 1-pointer.
Wow.
Actually,
I'm kind of I'm jumping on where you were coming from last week.
Yep.
And you started this conversation. We were kind of both talking about it. I'm picking Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
I just think it would be so fun. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I think if it's like by the book pick is Tiffany.
Sure.
By the book pick is Tiffany.
in the bank.
She's had a great rookie year so far. Lyra Valkyria could also do it. They're really hot on Lyra.
Naomi is in there. The only person in this match I really don't think is going to win is Zoe Stark, to be completely honest.
Agreed.
No offense to her. I just don't think
I do wish Dakota Kai was in her place. We were rooting for Dakota Kai last the other night. Io Sky, I just don't see repeating. I love that she's in the match. I just don't think she's going to repeat.
I think she's in the match for the sake of there's going to be damage control stuff, where it's like if she loses, it adds to the whole damage control is kind of falling apart thing, whatever. Going back to back would be sick. So you have Chelsea Green, your 2 confidence points. This is my 1 confident point. Like I mentioned, bro, gun to my head, Chelsea or Tiffany, I'm pulling the trigger myself. I think it's such a 50-50. I'm picking Chelsea Green.
Hell yeah.
Because
let's fucking go.
I'm using the same logic of how, honestly, you can say for how it was for LA Knight last year. LA Knight was so hot. Everyone wanted him to win. And it's like LA Knight in the bank. Like, that's great.
Doesn't really roll off the
LA
tongue,
in the bank. Knight in the bank. Money in the L. I don't know.
There you go.
But I think people wanted him so much. But it was like, it's so early. Like, that was his rookie year, in the sense of him versus Bray Wyatt was the first, was really the major feud that he had, and he just got popular over time. Tiffany, on the other hand, has had world championship matches. She was in that triple threat match, and she's been the Elimination Chamber match. Since she's been on the main roster, she has been unfucking believable.
Yeah.
But I just think it's too early into her run, where next year, I think that could be her moment, where it's I think there are a few people in this match. I think a Naomi could be a good choice for it. I think Lyra, even though Lyra's early on too, I think they could put it on her as well.
I think they could.
But man, you want to talk about just who would benefit the most and who would just have a great run as Miss Money in the Bank? It's Chelsea Green, man.
I mean, during Bayley versus Piper Niven, she got the biggest pop. Chelsea. Chelsea was the comedy, was the I don't know, people.
She's over her. She's great with her character, and
people are behind her. People want to see her break out of this, not the shell of her own doing, but the shell kind of WWE has.
Right, and that's the point I was going to make, where it's I don't want to sound like a broken record, because I feel like we've talked about this multiple times, but she's unbelievable in the ring. She just plays to her character, which is unbelievable, and she's great with it. But if they actually let the chain, took the leash off and stuff like that, and let her go in the ring like she used to be when she was on the indies, forget about it. I think could be one of the most legit female wrestlers on the roster. And I just think her with the Money in the Bank briefcase and teasing it, and maybe a few times she goes to cash him, it comes up short, and it kind of leads up to it's building up to her actually winning. I think that's great. And I think people are going to love it. It'll be so worth it. Tiffany, I love her. And if she won this match, I wouldn't be mad about it. But I think I'm using the same logic as Carmelo here in LA last year.
Right.
It's a little too early.
Chelsea makes sense. Chelsea's the most she's the clear underdog here. She, on paper, storyline wise, she's the least likely to win, but the fans are over the moon for her. I mean, it is very, not to make the comparison, but it is very Zack Ryder. They're dating.
Husband,
are they not married? Dating.
Oh, they've been married. No, they're married.
Husband, wife.
Yep.
It is very Zack Ryder at WrestleMania, whatever, winning the IC title.
Yes. Yeah. 32, 100%.
I guess the story was he got added to that match. There was something recent that came out. I think it was in an interview or something like that. I don't know. I think Chris Van Fleet might have interviewed him. I'm not sure. Anywho, point being, during that IC ladder match is he got added to the match. He's the internet darling. Everyone's so behind him, and WWE went, this will be a cool fucking moment. Let's pull a trigger.
Right.
I think this is a moment exactly like that, where they have this moment for Chelsea Green. Her winning is the launch pad.
Yeah.
They just need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
They just need to do it.
I think this is a better time than any.
I think so. I think if they missed they could miss this missing this opportunity, I think would be a shame.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
Something else I was gonna say, I forget. Maybe not. But yeah, I got 2 points. That's your what? It's your 1 pointer?
1 pointer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins.
Okay. This is my 2-pointer.
Okay. This is my 4.
I'm picking Damian.
I'm also picking Damian.
Because I love Seth. And I know we keep talking about this. Gunther's getting his world title match at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. On paper, Seth and Gunther's better. But I think getting this title defense under Damian's belt just legitimizes him even more, makes him and Gunther more legitimate. And also, like, the implications to this match are Damian loses. He's out of the Judgment Day. Seth loses. He can't challenge for the World Heavyweight title as long as Damian is champ. I think it's too early, even though it's kind of been like in the works for a while. I don't think Damian should exit the Judgment Day yet.
No.
I think that
especially not with a story that doesn't have, like, Seth doesn't have anything to do with the Judgment Day.
100%.
So I think if he's gonna exit the Judgment Day, it needs to be an internal, like
him and Finn
turns
like,
or something.
It's like,
yeah, for sure.
They can have a match like the loser leaves Judgment Day, or like he gets turned on, whatever. I think it's too early to see him leave, especially there's such a great storyline with Liv and Dom, and then Rhea's in the background, and Finn and Damian. You know, I think there's still a lot of story to be told with Damian in the Judgment Day. And like, Seth had a phenomenal run as World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's just, you don't have to put the belt back. He just came back. You don't have to put the belt back on.
It would almost be a little Super Cena moment of Seth.
Honestly,
Rollins.
It's like, he lost the belt. He's hurt. He's back now. Put the belt on him right away. Like,
yeah,
Damian Priest has done such a great job as champ where you don't have to take it off him. It's like, it's not, if the reign was actually like terrible and the fans were against it, it's like, okay, maybe we do have to pull the trigger on this and like change things up. But that hasn't been the case.
Damian's been on fire.
He's
I think he's been fantastic.
Exactly. So I think Damian should win this. Again, like, even if he loses to Gunther at SummerSlam, you look back on his title reign, beating Drew, beating Seth along the way. Yeah, you lost to Gunther, but fuck, man, like, you had a really solid run for having the belt for like 4 months.
The Drew win, I think, solidified this as a fantastic run and has legitimized Damian.
Right.
This next Seth win. This Seth win would prove that it's not a fluke.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this win is just as, if not a little more important now than the Drew win. Because it's like getting that one big one under your belt, but now going on to beat the second top guy.
Right.
Or another top guy, I should say, I think is so important.
I think a Damian win would be so much better for him than if Seth won. I think a Damian
honestly better for everything.
I think it's better for everything.
What does Seth winning do?
Seth winning,
because Seth's not like a story
Damian more than it helps Seth.
Right, for sure.
And Seth doesn't need to win his first match, but all right.
Agreed.
God forbid he can't challenge for the World Heavyweight Champ. Let's say Damian does beat Gunther at SummerSlam. I don't want to trickle into that far ahead, but
like, boom, Seth's back. He can challenge.
If Gunther wins, Seth is like, all right, I just take a month off. I'm not challenged for the belt. It's like, you can separate Seth from the World Heavyweight Championship picture for a little bit. He was champ for almost a year. It's okay to have him focus on other stuff. Damian would benefit the most from winning this, so let him win.
How many points is this for you? Said 2?
2, yeah.
It's my 4.
Yeah, 2.
Wow. Yep. It seems like we both haven't hit our 5 yet.
No.
I'm curious. Well, it's going to be one of these two. Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker.
Who do you got, brother?
It's my 5-pointer.
Okay.
Obviously, it was between... my 5-pointer came between this one and the tag match. Yep. Tag match is going to be weird. That's why I'm a little nervous about it. I am choosing Sami.
Okay.
For reasons I don't quite know.
They're in Canada. They're in his hometown too. He's gonna get.
That's a good. Yeah, because I remember us talking about this as if like before we were talking. This is like months
ago.
Winning
Money in the Bank, and stuff like that. Yeah. But that would have been crazy if he won that. That would have been fucking sick if he did. But
God, I mean, Braun winning, like,
it would be a shocking win if he won.
It'd be a shock, but we both know that they're so hot on Braun, and him winning, like him going through this dominant thing and like spearing people and killing people every week.
Speared the shit out of Sami Zayn on Raw.
Yeah,
Twice.
yeah. he did leapfrog the first one, and then Braun ran to
Do you
the thing.
see the meme on Twitter? It was like Sonic, where it's like he's chasing the rings, and then he hits the
it's like
he hits it, and they all fall out and stuff like that.
Damn, I don't know. I wasn't.
Are you losing? Are you changing?
I'm losing confidence.
Okay.
I just
think about that. Think about it. Let me talk.
Okay, yeah, please, because I'm pretty scatterbrained.
Because I'll tell you what, I have Sami Zayn for 5 points.
Wow,
this is my most confident match. Listen, I agree 100%. We are both. I'm a huge Bron Breakker fan.
Yeah,
I think
he's been very impressive.
Him on Raw, Carmelo on SmackDown. That's the future. And I think like more Breakker than Carmelo. I know Carmelo's in the Money in the Bank match, but like since Bron's been on the roster, they have put a rocket on this guy and have launched him to the moon. Carmelo's lost. He's fought like big time opponents like Cody and stuff, which like it justifies why he loses. But man, they have been hot on Bron. I think, I think he's going to be not only just an IC champion, I think he's going to be a multiple time world champion, IC champion. He's going to have a very successful career, but he's still so new on the roster. And I think Sami Zayn needs to lose to, I think he can hold on to the belt a little bit longer and lose to someone maybe that's a little bit more credible and a little bit more of like, I don't want to say veteran, but like, has worked a little bit more, and it's like more believable, I guess. I think it is, maybe not believable, because I do think Braun winning is believable.
But Sami's also coming off of, not directly off of, but Sami beat Gunther for this title.
Right.
This can't be which I don't think it would be, this can't be a squash match.
Right.
And not that makes sense in wrestling, like the thing that's like...
They could, hey man, if they want to fucking really launch him to the moon, they could do like a Brock Lesnar Cena thing, and have Bron Breakker just beat the absolute shit out of Sami Zayn and win the IC belt and go on a crazy dominant run.
Because how good of a heel move is it for Braun to win in Canada, too?
I mean, you want to talk about putting heat on him. I just think Sami Zayn has at least another month or so left in this reign. I think this is just another, like, hey, they did a great job building up Braun, making it credible and stuff like that, but I do think Sami's going to get the upper hand in his home country. I'm picking Sami for 5. So,
change my pick to Braun.
Yeah. Are you changing your confidence points?
Lock it in the file. Keep the 5.
Wow.
Mostly because I don't want to deal with like the flip flop.
No,
I guess
fine.
I could.
You could
put
just
it to
do
the
fucking
whatever.
Up to you.
Damn. I'm gonna switch to Braun.
Okay.
The more I think about it, the more it's just like, why not now? He's so hot. It's an ultimate heel thing in Canada.
Yeah.
It's like every single week they're having him run through guys. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, this is his first well, not really his first. It's his first pay-per-view title match on the main roster. Let's say he loses. Then it's like, where do both these men go from here if Braun loses? Sami wins, great. It's another Sami Zayn IC title match. Who does he feud with next? Where does he go to? If Braun loses, I'm not saying all this momentum stops, but it's like, what was all that momentum for? Now he's just back in Adam Pearce's office being like, Adam Pearce is now, because the whole time he's been complaining.
Right.
And then now Adam Pearce is like, well, Sami gave you your match and you fucking lost.
Right. Well,
and
this might sound a little weird because Sami's obviously the vet. He can do anything, whatever. But I think like Sami loses, I think it's more of a question of what he does next than Braun. Because if Braun loses, I think it's just like you stay on course. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna win every single match, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, and if he loses, hey man, let's say it was a screwy finish or like it was a roll up or whatever. I think that can just add to him being pissed off and going on more of a rampage and stuff like that. I
can only see Sami winning on a roll up or not like a cheat like. It's not like a heel or cheeky win, but I think like they're gonna have a great match. I think they're gonna have a barn burner. But I could see like him, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, stealing one, and then like I think you were saying, it makes Braun angry. And I can see that.
And how about this? Maybe something like that happens. Sami wins and Braun's pissed off. They have a rematch at SummerSlam. and maybe Bron gets the win there or something maybe. Like that.
Yeah, I have no idea what the direction is for Sami at SummerSlam. I haven't heard anything.
Right. So, and like right now, it's like obviously him and Chad had their thing going on. I think for right now, I am off the Chad Gable for IC champ train as of
which
right
honestly
now,
lends
just
me more
because there's so much going on with his like the howdy stuff and the money. He's just in his own little thing. He's in his own little world right now. I think him and Sami Zayn, him and the IC title can like kind of take some time off from each other. I do believe one day he'll get his hands on it, but. I'm going with Sami, obviously, like I said, but I think this could lead to another match between the two. Who knows?
Interesting. This is going to be an interesting one.
I'll tell you what. There's definitely going to be a clear, defined winner.
Yes, sir.
His predictions. That's for damn sure.
It damn well might come down to this IC, which makes the IC match more fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be, come on,
yeah,
Bron.
100%. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun match. I think Sami Zayn is a great seller. I think Bron Breakker. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make Bron Breakker look like he's gonna murder Sami Zayn, and like just like Gunther, like he pulled out the win by the skin of his teeth.
That's the thing, because it is. If it was anyone else, it is the Sami.
True underdog.
He's the real underdog.
Even though he's the champ in this, it's like look at who he's going up against.
Yeah.
Motherfucking monster. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
happy you changed.
I like my Bron.
I'm happy you changed.
I'm having fun with my Bron
because you made good
fun.
points and stuff like that. I do think it could be a great heel pulling the trigger on a heel.
Like you said, if he's the new Brock, new hot guy on the scene, holy shit, he won the IC title on his first. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a cool thing in the record books.
It's not crazy to think that he could win a title in his first official title match. So I like it.
Fun.
I like it.
All right, to round out the predictions, we have 3-on-3 Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus three members of Bloodline 2.0. It's definitely going to be Solo, obviously. It's got to be Jacob.
I think it's Jacob and then Tama Tonga. I don't think Tonga Loa.
I don't think that's what I thought it was established, and I was on Wikipedia, and some people on Twitter said like it's not.
Going off the graphic, it looked like
I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Tonga Loa was in it.
I mean, if we're just going based off of who the fans are like the most and stuff, and who's more popular, Tonga Loa is gonna be out of this match. So yeah, I think
this is my 3. What's this for you?
This is my 4.
Okay.
This is my 4. So I'm picking the Bloodline.
I'm also picking the Bloodline.
I think they need a dominant win.
They need a win.
You just added Jacob. You just kind of kicked Paul Heyman out. I think you got to keep this streak going, right?
Cody doesn't need to eat the pin. He shouldn't eat the pin.
But so I'm glad you brought that up. I think Solo is going to pin Cody Rhodes to win this match.
Whoa!
I think because I genuinely think.
Wow.
We've talked about this. Randy Cody is going to happen eventually.
I think this is gonna be a seed for Randy Cody.
I would have loved it if it was at SummerSlam, but I think there's just not enough there yet. I think you can tell there's a month left, but I think like you're so like the Bloodline's being introduced to the WWE Championship picture again. Like you're supposed to keep him in check, not getting involved. Now he's involved. I think SummerSlam it's going to be Cody and Solo. As boring as that sounds, I know it's not it's Randy's Cody's a bigger match. But I think with the story that's going on, Solo being power hungry and stuff,
Solo pinning Cody would lead right into that.
Solo and Cody is the best way to being like I pinned you. Like, I deserve a championship match. They have the match, and you can make the argument like Roman come back, whatever. We're not going to get that far into it. But I think the Bloodline, 1, should win this match because of that. And 2, man, oh man, let's have Jacob Fatu go fucking nuts.
Absolutely.
Let him go fucking crazy this match. Have him take out, let him do what he did on his debut night, like going through announce tables, super kicking, taking super kicks and acting like it's nothing, and then let's take that to the next level. Let him go crazy on these guys. And I think Solo getting the win. Hey, not everyone's a big fan of Solo, but we kind of talked about, I think he's gotten a lot better over the last few weeks with this whole him acting like he's the tribal chief, kind of taking control. Now he's doing the whole acknowledge me, having Paul hand him the mic and stuff like that. So I think this win just adds more to it, and I think he needs it.
I mean, I can even see it being a thing where like a Jacob or whatever like beats down a Cody, and then like Jacob like allows the pit. Solo's
like tagging in or what? Yeah.
Or Solo does that.
No, I agree.
With that said, though, if I see Solo Sikoa pin Cody Rhodes 1, 2, 3 on my television, I'm gonna be so fucking
Cody
pissed.
Rhodes has been pinned, I think, twice since he's been back. It's been Roman, I think Drew, and then Solo Sikoa. Yeah, not a great. Because
you're right,
one of these things doesn't belong.
It does
right?
build to the SummerSlam match, but I can't. I don't want.
Hey, if you asked me at the beginning of the year, if you we put out our bingo card, Solo Sikoa pinning Cody is not on my bingo card. But hey, Solo did. He went on like a 20 match losing streak after the fact, but he did beat John Cena last year.
Yeah.
So he has gotten big wins before.
He has credentials.
He has some credentials. So I think, as crazy as it sounds,
it does sound crazy.
It does sound crazy. I think less crazy, Bloodline's winning. More crazy,
Agreed.
Solo. I think pinning Cody that's the way to go here. So
regardless of that, I do think we're gonna see. I hope. I shouldn't say I think we're gonna see, but I hope there was some. Either we see a little hint at jealousy or something with Orton and Cody.
I mean, I think it was after the last pay-per-view when Cody was like getting attacked from the Bloodline, and Randy kind of looked at the belt. This past SmackDown, Cody's like, I should be here in Madison Square Garden. I should be putting my belt on the line against a worthy challenger. And Randy kind of looked and he was like, what is?
Yeah.
They already are slowly planting the seeds, which why I believe that match isn't happening at SummerSlam, because they're slowly building to it. And I think when that match happens, it's going to be great, but you don't got to rush into it. And I think they kind of would be rushing into it if it was at this upcoming SummerSlam. So.
I agree. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Hey,
I think it's going to be shenanigans.
There's definitely going to be shenanigans. But yeah, that's Money in the Bank, baby.
That's Money in the Bank.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it seems like we have for the we got some different picks in here. We got
3 Chelsea, Damian, and the Bloodline. We have the same, but they're all different point totals.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all different.
The IC match is a big point one.
Yeah.
You have more points for the men's Money in the Bank one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna pee, but
okay.
I want you to
let me talk a little NXT. Because
yeah, please set up NXT Heatwave. So we're gonna run through predictions. Again, it's not for anything, just because just
for fun.
This is the one that I'm starting to pay a lot more attention to NXT, but I'm not confident of I could be picking
I'm with you.
I don't really know who Carmen Petrovic is.
She's a new
so that's the you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So based on that, okay, I'll be right back.
He's gonna go pee. Let's talk a little NXT with Dante segment right here. So this past Tuesday, so we're filming this on a Wednesday, a day early. Last night, for everyone that does or doesn't watch NXT, if you don't watch NXT, go back and watch Jada Parker versus Mia Yim in a street fight match. My God, that match kicked all kinds of ass. Those two women, it's like one of those matches okay, street fight on NXT, it's going to be good. Jada Parker's still new. Mia Yim's been around for a while. But how good is this match going to be? They exceeded my expectations, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of people. They exceeded almost everyone's expectations. That match kicked all kinds of ass. Go back and watch it. If you're not an NXT person, that is a great match to go see. And if you just happen to miss it, go back and check it out. Heatwave, though, is looking like, now you got the NXT Women's North American Championship. You had another championship match in there. Last chance match for the NXT North American Championship. Obafemi is unbelievable. I think he is going to be, when that day comes, he's going to be a maniac on the main roster, but he still has some time in NXT to go. Roxanne Perez, Lola Vice has been a great story. The Fatal 4-Way NXT Championship match, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Sean Spears, all 4 of those guys are incredible. And I think Javon Evans is only 19 years old, so the fact that he's already promptly featured in a match like this are incredible. This past NXT was a great show. I think it was the contract signing, whatever, for it. Really
Sean
good.
Spears is fine. Let's not get carried away.
I think for what they're doing in NXT right now, they all are, and we'll get into the predictions and stuff, but I think all 4 of them gave legitimate reasons to fans to believe that they could win. this Sunday. But yeah, NXT this past week was a kick-ass show. I tuned into a good amount of it. But yeah, I was telling them, the people, the live audience here, I don't know if you watched NXT on Tuesday, but there's one match to go back and see, Jada Parker and Mia Yim street fight.
Heard it was good. Oh yeah, I saw highlights. I didn't see the whole thing.
It was an amazing match.
Yeah,
it was such a good, and like Jada Parker's still very new, so it's like Yim is more of the veteran.
She's going by Mia Yim in NXT, or she Meechin?
I think Meechin, Mia Yim. Maybe they do both. I don't know. I just call her.
Gotcha.
I just call her both.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go back and watch that match. That match was killer. But yeah, and it led to Heatwave, and now we can give our predictions now.
The one thing I did see was which from what I gather, Roxanne gets some slack. Not slack. She gets some what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? People aren't hyped about Roxanne's promos.
Okay.
Roxanne, I guess that's not from me. That's from what I'm hearing. Because I'm not, again, I'm kind of learning here. And I did see Roxanne and Lola Vice's promo last night. Not the kind of tough.
Yeah, not the biggest build up to the match, whatever. Lola Vice is still, new on the scene and stuff like that. And, she's trying to build some legitimacy, get that momentum going and stuff like that. Roxanne, I mean,
I feel like she should be a face.
Who?
Roxanne.
Yeah, I think she always was, but she's kind of on her heel run right now. The thing is where she lacks, maybe on the mic, she makes up for it in the ring.
That's the thing.
And she's also like 21, 22 years old too. So like she has the world in the palm of her hands. She's like a 2-time NXT Women's Champion.
That's nuts.
I think it's 2. It might not. I don't know if it's 3. But they trust her. Obviously, she might not be the strongest person on the mic, but she's still good enough for like she's still a great champion, and I think it's one of those things that she'll get better. She'll get better at, but she's phenomenal in the ring, and that to me, that's what matters most right now. So
run through some predictions here. Right. We got Carmen Petrovic, pardon my pronunciation, and Ariana Grace versus JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Ariana Grace, that's Santino Marella's daughter.
That's why that name looked familiar.
Yeah, that's his daughter.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yeah, a little Easter egg for people that didn't know that.
I picked JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. So JC James were only the most, other than Ariana, I guess. It's who I recognized.
Yeah, Jasmine Nix and Carmen Petrovic are just that new wave of new female wrestlers that they're building up on the NXT roster, whatever. Ariana Grace has been around for a little bit. JC Jane been around for a little bit as well. She was in Toxic Attraction, all that stuff. JC Jane also was just given the Cody Rhodes recently. I think
sick.
With that, and like she's been featured, promptly on TV the last few weeks. I think they're starting to get some momentum going for her. So I'm picking JC Jane and Jasmine. This is probably the one match that I'm like, out of all these matches, this is where I'm probably least, like not least into, but I'm least, like I'm not too into the story as far as compared to the other matches. But from what I do know with what's going on with JC Jane, I think she would really benefit from a win here. Carmen and Ariana, all these women are very young still, so I could go either way, but I'll go JC Jane and Jasmine.
NXT Tag Titles, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, the champions, versus Chase U, who now have Ridge Hall, or have had, I should say, Ridge Hall in it. I chose Chase U solely for the fact that I know Nathan Frazier and Axiom have had the tag titles for a minute.
Yeah, they beat Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin back when they were champs months ago.
It's more so, I don't know, it's more so just like I feel a change. Coming up. That's kind of it.
Chase U has kind of been like featured prominently on NXT since they did the whole 2.0 switch or whatever. And they are former tag team champions, so I can see them winning it back, and like they're featured pretty much almost every single week. And it's like I feel like the NXT tag titles are like, hot potato isn't the word because they've been champs for a few months, but it's one of those set of belts where it's like,
doesn't seem like the hottest title in the company.
No, like they can do some swaps here and there for the belts. I think putting it on Chase U, like I said, Ridge Holland is there now and stuff like that. They have solid stories all around. Chase U, I think, would benefit the most from this. And Nathan Frazier's been featured a lot on the Speed show and stuff like that and everything. He has. I think Nathan Frazier and Axiom, that group kind of got put together, and I think Nathan Frazier is a solo star. Not to discredit Axiom.
I fuck with Axiom though. I
fuck with both of them, but Nathan Frazier is a single star man. I think he is money. And they need to let him go crazy. So get the belts off of them, change it up a little bit, give it to Chase U.
NXT Women's North American Championship, the inaugural champ, Kaylani Jordan versus Sol Ruka. This match is
this is going to kick ass. If this wasn't Kalani's first defense, I would love to pick Sol Ruka because I think she is the future.
She's so sick.
I think she is.
That fucking finisher alone.
Her moveset is one of the craziest moveset I've seen from any female wrestling. For her being so new, like fresh on the scene, insane. I am picking Kalani Jordan because it is her first title defense. I don't think we should start off this. They just introduced this championship. I don't think you should start off with the person you put it on winning this big ladder match, losing it right away.
They put it on her for a reason.
Let her have a good run with the belt. I think Sol Ruka 100% will win this belt in even more championships in her very young
She's got time.
Career, her future. But I think Kalani should get it here.
I'm also picking Kalani.
All right.
Last chance match for the NXT North American Championship, Oba Femi versus Wesley. If Wesley loses, he cannot challenge for the North American Championship as long as Oba Femi has it, I believe is what it is. Or is it period?
I'm not 100% sure.
I forget what
but it doesn't matter to me because I'm picking Oba Femi to win. And the reason why I'm picking
I wasn't sure who to pick for this one.
For that reason, I'm saying because Wesley had, when he was the champ, he had it for like almost a year, maybe a little over a year. Even it was teetering around a year. And Oba Femi, I was kind of talking about this when you were in the bathroom.
He's so good.
He's a monster. I think he's gonna be on NXT for a little bit, but he's gonna be a guy that has. I think he should have like a very long North American Championship reign, and I think he will win the NXT Championship before eventually going to the main roster, whenever that is. He's also like 23 years old, 24 years old. He is so young.
Jeez, NXT is so young right now. It's awesome.
It's insane. I believe Wesley's time in NXT is coming up. I think he's a guy that should get introduced to them. I think he's a guy that should start, because they do this whole like, some people are on the main roster, but they're still in NXT, and like they're kind of going back and forth. I think he should start getting introduced to the main roster. He can still float around NXT and like have a feuds here and there that don't involve the championship, obviously. But I think, and before he got hurt, I feel like that was kind of the direction they were going down of like, okay, like he had this big NXT North American Championship reign. People are familiar with him. Now we can kind of like get him introduced to the main roster crowd. I think that's what they're going to start doing. And more so too, they shouldn't take it off of Oba Femi. Let him freaking just have a monster run and just go through everyone put in front of him.
I was kind of 50-50. Like the Fatal 4-Way, right, at the last NXT pay-per-view.
I think it was a triple threat or
it was a triple threat. It was a triple threat.
Yeah, okay.
Oba Femi, I mean, like Wesley was also in that match, I believe.
Yep.
They all did fucking fantastic. Oba Femi is a monster. I just chose Wesley because he's been back from the injury a lot. They were hot on him before the injury. I think maybe swing it back to Wesley.
Man,
I don't know.
I think there would be no issue with Wesley winning the belt back.
Yeah.
And same thing. He could win the belt back and still do the whole main roster NXT thing.
Sure.
But to me, it's just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Oba Femi's just been doing such a great job. It's like I don't think they need to take it off of him, but they do. It will be a great champ. So
NXT Women's Championship, Roxanne Perez versus Lola Vice. Easy off rip. I got Roxanne Perez retaining.
Yeah,
she seems like she's the staple right now. It seems like it's who they're riding with. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm also picking Roxanne for this one. I think Lola Vice is kind of next in line to win the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne has been kind of teasing and teetering along the lines of like being on the main roster. Like she's been introduced on the main roster before. She's been in the last two Royal Rumbles. She was on the night after Mania, which kind of her and Ilya were on it. It seemed like, okay, like it seems like she's getting.
I thought she was getting called up. Yeah, I thought she was getting drafted or whatever.
But obviously not. She just beat Jordan Great, so I think you kind of keep that momentum going.
Huge match.
I think because SummerSlam, whatever they call that event, is going to be a huge pay-per-view for NXT. I think that might be the place. I think Roxanne and Lola will have more than one match for the belt. I think this being Lola's first World Championship match, I think it's okay for her to lose. And then if they have a second match, I can see Lola winning that one. But I think this case, I'm going to go with Roxanne.
Fatal 4-Way NXT Championship. Trick Williams versus Javon Evans versus Ethan Page versus Sean Spears.
I love I am a sucker for a multi-man match. A fatal
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one.
Match because it can go any way.
When is this, by the way? Is this Saturday?
Sunday.
Oh, is this?
I believe it's Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because Money in the Bank's Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Man, Javon Williams, for being a 19-year-old, it is insane how good he is and how believable they made him. Ethan Page just being involved. I know he had the championship match already. Him being thrown in the mix here, maybe he gets his hands on it this time around because I think he can be a credible NXT champ.
For sure.
Sean Spears, I think he's great in this match being included. He pinned Trick Williams a few weeks ago. I'm not too sold on him winning the World Championship yet. I'm going Trick Williams. I'm
also going Trick Williams.
Let's keep the run going, man.
It seems like an important. It seems like we're in the Trick Williams era of NXT.
Yep.
I don't see them getting off track, getting off course, and this would be a fucking good win for him. You know,
huge
what I mean?
win under his belt, and
there's two veterans in here.
Yeah,
you know,
right. I think him getting this win would do wonders for his title reign. I think when he does eventually lose the belt, it should be to someone that's like not like a passing the torch, because like Trick Williams is so young still, and he is kind of like the newer face of NXT since he just won and kind of beat Carmelo, took the belt off Ilya or whatever. But keep the reign going. Again, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's been awesome as champ. Keep the belt on him, and he'll lose it eventually. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be here.
Before we close the show, I do want to jump over to Forbidden Door.
Let's do it.
Mainly to talk about. I want to talk about Swerve Strickland defeating Will Ospreay to retain the AEW World Championship.
Just a crazy match, man.
This was fucking good,
such
dude.
a fun match, man.
Holy shit.
I mean, we knew. Will Ospreay can do no wrong, right? Anytime he steps in the ring, it's like, man, this could be a 5-star match. Doesn't matter who he's going up against. Swerve Strickland in his own right is unbelievable. His character work, how it translates to the ring. And these two, when they were in the ring together, they created magic. They created magic.
And this, not that Swerve needs legitimizing, but this was his like, oh, I can run and keep up with the best in the world.
I can be the face of this company.
Exactly.
And I can hold my own. And Will Ospreay said after the event, I don't know if you saw this quote, he was like, I don't know if he said this. It was like a report. It's like he wanted to get this match out of the way. Because even when Will won, it was like, oh, wow, they're doing this kind of early. It's like, they could have built it up. Apparently, he wanted to get this match out of the way because people were kind of like all in. Will beating Swerve at All In, that's kind of like what people were kind of expecting to happen. He's like, get it out of the way and have Swerve win, so it's like he doesn't get looked at, oh, he's just a placeholder for me until I beat him or something like that. That's what the report is.
Awesome.
And I believe that, honestly. So not only to, one, get the match out of the way, but to give Swerve the win, such a legitimate win. And, again, like whether Swerve loses to whoever he faces, whoever wins the Owen Hart thing at All In or not, his title reign and just the few months he's had the belt has been fucking awesome. And Will Ospreay, you could say he's the best wrestler in the world, but guess what? Even if you're the best, you can lose sometimes. You know what I mean? It's okay to lose, and Will Ospreay is still the
Swerve's the world champion for a reason.
Swerve's the world champion for a reason, and Will still is the international champ.
Yeah.
Will doesn't need to win every single match. This match meant more for Swerve. 100%. Him winning than if Will won. You know what I mean? This
is going to be a match of the year contender for me. I think when we come around to it, this is going to be in the conversation. When Swerve when Swerve hit Will with his own forbidden blade, I lost my mind. Dude, I mean, like it's like the Will teasing the Tiger driver.
Yep.
This was I can't remember. It's been a little bit, since there's been a wrestling main event that had me this glued and this like. I don't know. There was so many times where I thought Will had it.
Because it legitimately was a match where, like, yeah, like, we want Swerve to win, and, like, maybe he should win, but Will Ospreay, he probably was the favorite. You know what I mean? It's Will fucking Ospreay. So it was a 50-50 coin toss there, but the right man won. Let Swerve keep going with this reign, whether he wins or loses it all in. I think this win solidified him as he is a, like, very what's the word I'm trying to think of? He's not a placeholder. He is a legit world champion, and this win just proved that.
In
the mat, bro. I mean, we're watching the highlights right now. This shit was sick.
Yeah, no, they went crazy. They obviously had to do some Don Callis stuff.
Of course.
I'm glad, like, they did the screwdriver, and Will ended up, like, not, he put it away, and he was like, ended up not doing it. Maybe I'll show it in the highlights. There was a Don Callis thing. Fuck. There was a Don Callis interaction that like could have been the end of the match.
Right.
I forget if Swerve got hit with the screwdriver or not, but there was something that happened where
this sequence was crazy.
People can't see it.
I know. Sorry, guys. The style's clash.
I also just have it on for like I just did the same thing. That was a little fucky. Sorry. Okay, maybe I should. At this point now we are just. Well, I thought I was gonna just have it on to jog my memory of what happened. Maybe the Don Callis thing will be in here.
Yeah.
Because there was some the stomp onto like the announce table from the outside turnbuckle.
Crazy.
Crazy Os cutter. Blah blah. Let me see if the Don Callis thing is in here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, and then he ends up hitting the hidden blade to the fucking ref. I am kind of scrubbing through it. All right, either way, apologies because I forget the exact thing that happened. But there was Don Callis interference. It could have ended the match. Swerve kicked out and get the Don shit out of the way. I hope at this point that's the end of it because Will didn't really, Will was not super siding with him.
Yep.
I hope that's it. I saw that Swerve kicked out and I was like, if that would have ruined the whole match.
Yeah, it would have been a very anticlimactic. And
that didn't end the match, and they went another 10 or 15 minutes, and I was like, okay, fucking perfect.
Kyle Fletcher,
thank you.
Him, I believe, being by his side at the end and everything like that, kind of, planting seeds of them getting back together and everything. The show of respect at the
final
end.
Shot where he just shows him. Will looks,
awesome.
And props to Will, he looked devastated that he lost this match, which I think was
look at
awesome.
the report. That's what I was talking about. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland, the main event of Forbidden Door, came about because Will Ospreay wanted to eliminate the talking point of Swerve being a placeholder for him in AEW All In Wembley, all that.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that was on to end Dynamite. But yeah, no, this was, like I said, this is gonna be in the conversation for yeah, his kill shot. The kill shot move was so fucking good. And
I think, man, who said they could have a million more matches, and I'd be entertained by each and every one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to find find the Don Callis thing, whatever. Yeah, loved it. Awesome match of the night by far.
100%.
We can talk more. Forbidden Door. That was my biggest thing for the whole night.
Yep.
Was that match? I mean, obviously it is Forbidden Door, so it is a lot of just the random dream matches. But yeah, shout out Swerve. I hope his reign lasts much longer. This was the solidifying. Oh, I'm the fucking guy.
100%.
And then we're getting Will Ospreay and Daniel Garcia for the International Championship. Tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah,
I'm glad you did mention it. So we did. Yeah, I always forget to mention we are recording this on a Wednesday.
Yes.
It's gonna come out on a Wednesday.
Yes, it will.
So we're gonna have a funny upload schedule this week. Sorry. But with that said, that's the main episode. Go to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling to hear us chat a little bit more about a plethora of different topics. We're gonna talk. Well, you know what? I think I'll just put what I'm gonna try to start doing is put a little preview at the end of these episodes.
Okay.
So I'll let that do the talking. But thank you for joining us. Make sure you're subscribed, follow us and everything. It's a pleasure as always. And we'll see you throughout the week and next week for the pod. Until then, see you when we see you. Goodbye.
Happy holidays. Have a good 4th. Be safe. Be smart. Have fun. Peace.